Hey guys, this is Julian Wall from the Binary Lab, and I want to do a quick update about Forex Learning Group. And yesterday we just had a webinar where I was doing like case study on some of the trades that I've been doing, basically supply-demand style trades. So if you saw my most recent email, I actually did mention a little bit about supply-demand style trading. And for those of you who are in the Binary Basics program, you actually have a module on supply-demand indicator as well. And for those of you in the Forex Learning Group, I previously did a training about supply and demand a couple of weeks ago, and the most recent webinar I did basically like a case study on how to execute this. So I want to talk about like some of the trades that I reviewed yesterday during the webinar and how it actually turned out. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my screen over, and okay, this trade that you see over here, this was actually taken with the trend eater that is basically, the EA where I've actually programmed in my trading style, and that actually, for a very okay, if you see why it says no stop loss to take profit, that's because it was EA managed. It's all hidden stops to prevent the brokers from doing stop hunting. The stop loss is very tiny. It was like less than 15 pips or something, and the corresponding profit was huge because, of the lot size, okay? But then again, what's even more interesting is you look at the more recent trades, and when I talk about support, when I talk about supply demand kind of trades, what I'm talking about is like stuff like this. We're using like supply demand zones, actually teaching people how to use these zones to actually take very high quality reversal trades. So let's have a look at those trades again. These were some of the ones I reviewed during the webinar. With and this one actually went for a Euro USD from a 116.12.5 all the way down to 114.51. So huge range. Was like 100 and what's that? 40-ish, 50-ish. It's quite a nice number of pips. That's like 40 amount of risk. So basically, this is a 2,000 account, and with account of 2,000, the risk on that was about $40, and the return is close to 2.5 times. So that's really nice. And then we have this other one right here. This was Aussie Canadian, and that was taken with at this price, and this was actually also an EA trade with the trend eater as well. And then the next trade I want to bring attention to is this one here. This was taken during the webinar. So I was teaching people how to use H4 breakout trade, and this one was a H4 breakout setup on the Euro JPY. I'm gonna drag that chart on. Okay, I'm gonna keep this video short because I can feel mosquitoes hovering around my ankles, and it's really it's really distracting me at this moment. Let me try and find the Euro JPY thing. I know it's at the bottom somewhere. There you go. Okay, so this is this is what transpired basically. We entered at around this region. It was actually a late entry, and basically, it went to a nice take profit. Just as it actually went in, like I took profit before it even touched down on this level that became a demand zone. All right, so very nice done during the webinar as well. This was about 1.6 times profit to risk. Alright, and basically, I see the question from was what happened to binary. We still do binary. I have a binary webinar for my elite group every Tuesday. So on Thursdays we do like a Forex webinar. And why? Because of bloody ESMA, and ESMA is the ESMA, the place, the association, and then also SciSec. So these people have made binary very ridiculously difficult for people in the United Kingdom and Europe. So like I do hope to find a reputable broker that people in UK especially can use, because there are good brokers that accept people in Europe but not in the UK. I was this close to tying down a broker that was regulated, the ASIC regulated broker that could actually accept people in UK and Europe, but like just days into it they backed down on the decision. So oh well, whatever. But in the meantime, like I said, this is a Forex update video, and those were the trades that I covered during my webinar yesterday. Just wanted to show you how they worked out. And one of the things I'm looking into as well is with demand, all right? If you think this is useful, please comment below so that I know that this is in demand, okay? I'm trying to robotize my strategies as much as possible, but the difficulty in doing that is that the market conditions evolve, and then the same parameters don't work, and they need constant optimization. So, because of that, like right now in binary, I have my cousin Kevin, who's actually like helping out during the London sessions, basically like calling trade setups, and that's been working out very well. I think Kevin's doing a great job. He's learned how to switch through time frames between the M1, 30-second and 15-second really, really well. And I think that a lot of people can see value in this. And if you see value in something like that as well for Forex, I am happy to train Kevin, or perhaps like even bring someone else on the board, so that to educate them and scan the markets in the principles that I use to take trades, whether it's breakout, whether it's supply-demand reversal. And if you think that would be value added for you, just comment below. So basically, looking at like providing like signals, it's not really signals per se, it's more like a learning tool, because you would first learn how these methods work, and then with these hints, let's say that look at this one, this one's getting ready. And if you have come from my training, you've watched my webinars or you watch my training videos, you know exactly what to do at that time when I say check out this chart. Okay, check out Euro USD on the H4. Check out GBP JPY on the H1, for instance. And right now, what we did yesterday, for instance, was like we did different time frame exits. So let's say we enter on a H1, exit on a H4, or let's say enter on a H4, exit on a D1, stuff like that. So like basically these are the trading methods that I'm focusing on right now for the Forex group, is with the supply and demand reversals and also with the breakouts. I know that you guys, some of you miss binary. Yes, I see a comment, Shane, and I know it sucks. Okay, I'm trying to see what else is available. There are brokers that accept people in the UK still, but I wouldn't dare to recommend them because I'm not sure about their credibility. And if anyone's just trading a couple of dollars, it's fine. But the thing is that when you start trading larger amounts, it's gonna suck if the brokers go illiquid, and I would hate to see that happen to anyone. So in the meantime, basically this is like next best thing. All right, I see what brokers, a lot of brokers out there in they were previously under ESMA and side regulation, going from binary to Forex, and so well, it's not the best. And honestly, from a broker standpoint, the turnover isn't going to be as great. But well, from a trader standpoint, it's still possible to make a decent daily return. Okay, so just based on the trades taken yesterday, the ones I showed you just now, that is about 10%. All in all, pretty solid stuff. So that can actually, 10% on just a few trades. So fairly low amount of involvement, low amount of stress. And in my most recent webinar, I also talked about trade management. Basically talked about how you can either let the stop loss do the work, or at the same time you can wholesale. I have two EAs. They're about to be ready. One is where it automates the whole strategy, but another one is semi-automatic. So basically you take the trade, you let the EA manager exit. So that one's going to help do the heavy lifting for you, but until then, stop loss can manage it. But if you're on a H4, it's really easy. So let's say when you're able to, just check it every 4 hours, every 8 hours, when you can, no matter what, I mean, the profit to risk ratio is fairly big, so it's okay. It still works out quite nice. All right, if that sounds something good to you, and my Forex group is still taking in people. We do weekly webinars at this point of time. There is a chat group on Telegram and a forum as well. We can catch up the previous material. I'll be putting up like broker links that you can use to join. The minimum deposit to get free membership is $500. So it's free membership, top quality training. And like I said in previous live videos, the approach that I use, it really turns the way that people teach Forex traditionally like upside down. I mean, I started with binary first. So with a binary trader's insight on the market, like we are very sensitive to price action. And as a binary trader, I don't see the point of all these last swing high or last swing low kind of stop losses. All this, 50 pip buffer stuff, it's BS that just screws up your profit to risk ratio like tremendously. So why do you need to have like a 1-to-1 profit to risk, or let's say a 0.6 to 1 when you can have a 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 8 to 1, 9 to 1 even, right? So that's what we're talking about over here. It's really mindset shift. You got to come in to see how it works out, and I guarantee that you will find that what you learned here is valuable and profitable. So if you're, I'm going to update the links into this video, like after it processes and stuff. But if you're eager, just hit up the admin on this page. Just send a message to the admin, and the admin will send you the links that you need to use to join to get into the Forex program for free. Okay, free with a broker deposit. And that's basically it. All right, and I'm going to head out for dinner right now. I actually just came in to check out the trades on my screen basically, and now I'm heading out for dinner. And I want to show you my new ride. Ta-da! Awesome, right? Check out the lights. So I'm just gonna press the unlock, and okay, it's not nighttime yet, so the lights don't come on, but when the lights come on, it's really sick. I'm just gonna show you around. So I did give you guys a little preview during the webinar. These wheels are gonna change. I've got like hot red forged rims coming in next week. Design like Japanese shurikens, basically. And this one on the front, super aggressive. I got like red accents on the front as well. So engine imported. Basically, this is actually an A7. It's not a real R7 to be honest with you. But then again, I did a lot of work to the innards. I shipped in engine from the UK. That's 3-liter supercharged. I wanted the 4-liter supercharged, but I mean I wanted the 4-liter turbocharged, but the mechanics here didn't have experience with that one, so they didn't know this. So just get the 3-liter one. The one that came with this was 2.8. I junked that out, and then I got the 3-liter supercharged. We're going to get it tuned, and as it is, that one was taken out of a S5 with 353 horsepower. After the tune, it should have about, I'm going to give it like a stage 2 plus tune. That'll give it about 560 horses or something. Like right now, this is like the stock brakes. These are going to go. I've ordered like AP. I've ordered like some AP Racing radicals, and oh, this is going to be bagged as well. It's going to be bagged with Airx airlift suspension. So, okay, one sec. I moved to Forex due to the new rules in binary. Well, I didn't move to Forex. I'm still doing binary. So I still have binary on Tuesdays and Forex on Thursdays, and I have groups for each one. What would you include in my course? Well, it's actually from step one. So it's all from the ground zero, like you know, like setting up your charts, indicators, how to take and modify trades, methods of, like, for example, like if you came on the video earlier, I was talking about supply demand and also like breakout. So the main thing that I teach that's different from elsewhere is in the application of stop losses, because as a binary trader, I know that we don't need a big movement to tell us that this is going to be a losing trade, right? Sometimes when you trade binary, you know from the first candle that moves against you, you know that you don't need to stay in the trade any longer. So I use that concept as well in you know, the Forex program as well. So basically, we teach you how to get really high profit to risk, and the reason behind this, you know, like I said, obviously there's because of regulation. That's one thing, and I also want to try to help you get as close as possible profit that you used to receive daily through binary with Forex, with the same amount of time invested as well. So basically trying to show you ways that you can generate nice profit with, you know, like 20-40 minutes of work per day spent on this, and you know, with the rules in place to help you manage you know, manage your emotions, and also deduce whether you should be trading or not. But because we're doing a lot of higher time frame, like H1, H4, and if you really want to, you can do M15. Oh, that's right. I'll be sending out to my members a piece of software that you can use to train over the weekend. It's a simulator, basically. You can simulate the market and speed everything up, so you can actually trade like H4 as though it's like a 15-second, and then you can drill yourself to get good at it. All right. So if you're not already, people watching this video, if you're not already inside the Forex group and you're keen about it, basically I'll be updating this video afterward with some links that you can use to join. But in the meantime, you can just go ahead and message the page admin already and ask for links to use to join. And with a 500 minimum deposit, it's really your money. I just earn from broker commissions, that's all. So that keeps it free. And I mean, let's say if you really insist on using an existing account, and there's no reason why. I mean, there's a small fee they need to pay to discourage you to, and rather, because I would rather like have you use the methods that I teach, get profitable, grow your accounts, and you know, having bigger and better turnover is win-win. I think in every sense of it, it's win-win. So I want to create a kind of win-win partnership with you, support you to get profitable with methods that don't use unnecessary amount of stop loss, and you know, help you to get good and get a decent amount of daily profit. All right. Anyone want to hear the car sound? Who wants to hear the sound of this thing? I'm gonna show it to you. Zach. I'm gonna drive it out a little bit. Just gonna drive it up front, and then I'm gonna have to put it slightly. I'm gonna have to drive it out a little bit, because otherwise, shit, that was loud. No, that wasn't me. It's like some bike outside. Because if I just do that, if I rev it from here, it's gonna send a lot of exhaust gas in the house. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna instead just put it around here. Alright, let's hear some sound. Pretty sick, right? The thing is, because I got this ref limiter. Yeah, I got a ref limiter that kind of like breaks off. If I'm on neutral on park, it just kind of breaks off at 4,000. But when this goes to 7,000, it's quite amazing. Let's try a little do a little bit of a drive out here. I'll try and get that sound. One sec. I'll just do it. This is a short one. Just a short one. This is a short one because otherwise I'm gonna piss off people too much. Right? Here we go. It's clear. How's that? You like that? Still think it's too soft? Did you guys get to hear that? Because I think the Wi-Fi kind of missed out. Did you get to hear it just now? I'm gonna do it again. Here we go. Watch this. It's like freaking Maserati 4.7, and I haven't got the tune yet, but very, very nice. Did you hear the last bit? How's that for sound? Alright, anyway, bye for now. So, Forex program, the next, it goes every Thursday. I still have binary every Tuesday. And, like, contact the admin for the link so you need to join. And it's free for just like a $500 deposit minimum. Alright, so that's basically it. And bye for now. Good trading. Have a good weekend.